All right, so let's get into what this base boost is. How can I change my base system from 1x doing 2000 to something more without overloading my phone or overloading my laptop or overloading my PC? My PC is running as strong as it can and it's just going to be able to create this. So we have this base boost. And how that works is in the beginning, I said, okay, let me take my cell phone and let me put a 5x on it. And instead of running my cell phone on the max version, Lite, it was doing 1500 times 5 is 7500. Then my Pro version, I put the 5x, I transferred it over to that, and that was getting 1000 times 5 was 7500. And this is also why this is more instead of the 1000 is they also have a VPN application that if you use the VPN you get an extra 500. So that's why the Cell Lite is higher 1500 than the Cell Pro at 1500. I tried to see how I could enhance or max that. I don't need the VPN application. I don't need to, for instance, one of my friends lives in Canada part time of the year. And when he's in the United States, he can get his Netflix program with all of the shows that he watches. When he goes to Canada, the Canadian Netflix doesn't have all of the same stuff. It it doesn't have the same library that it pulls from. It's completely different from their subscription. They have maybe more British or Canadian type shows, and they've taken away some of the subscription and whatnot. But he pays for an American Netflix, so he can use a VPN and say that he is in Tallahassee or New York or Sacramento or something. Or what he does is he does this Phoenix, where his hometown is, and he can simulate that he is in the United States, and then therefore he can get to the USA Netflix and watch his shows. So I don't need that, but I just installed it to see what it would like, just in case you did and you wanted a VPN, which mainly some VPNs, cost money, $5 a month or something like that. So you need to check to see if you need a VPN. If you don't, there's no big deal on it. This would just be 1,000 times 5. This would be 5,000 for you. And then the Cell Phone Pro, I added the 5 booster to that. And every 3 hours, you have to do like an acknowledgement, a swipe on it. It was a little bit of pain in that to see, well, why can't I just run it 24/7? And the reason why is the data center, the company, their business, they're subleasing their servers for BTC account. And how are they going to make their profit if you run it 24/7 unless you subscribe to it, kind of a thing. So you get that 3 hour swipe on your phone. So when I wake up in the morning, I turn my alarm clock off, brushing my teeth, I turn the 3 hours on, so I get 7,500 as opposed to 1,500. Then at lunchtime, checking emails, texts, that kind of thing, I swipe it again. And then at the end of the night before I go to bed, I take it and swipe it again when I'm making sure my alarm's set for the next day and all that kind of stuff. So I can run it for 9 hours. That goes through. So I did the calculations just like I did before, and to get through it. So there's a big difference between the amount that I was getting on my base system for this. There we go. I'll put these here. Um, at 2,000 at $10, and now I'm getting 7,000 for $53 just by subscribing a little bit to the booster that's on that. Then the next one is my cell phone max plan. This is the one that I run on there now. I get 10,000 because it's 2,000 base in my cell phone max, 2,000 base, and times it by 5 because of my booster, I get 10,000. So I ran that for 2 hours and 30 minutes, which is 153 minutes, divided it in, and I get 178 a year. Okay. The next one was, what about my laptop? That's going to be my base X running at 1,000. I said, well, why would I put, seeing this growth pattern here, Why would I invest any money on my laptop when I could invest it on my PC for the same amount? And therefore, I did a 2x on my PC. That gives me 11,500. If I would have done a 2x on here, it would only get me 2,000. So my first initial, I've made profit. I've ran this for a couple of months, and I got 20 bucks. And so I took that money and I bought the 2x for this, giving me that. In a month, I'll make the $20 investment back, and then therefore for 11 months, I'll be making the profit on that. And as it runs year to year, it'd be $228, and I'm good. Okay. What I found was the same thing. You can't run the 3 apps on your cell phone. You got to pick one for your login. So I picked my Macs, and I have my Macs running at 5x, and my laptop at 1x, and my PC at 2x. And now I'm up to $321 with my investment out of that 321 was probably $15 with my different subscriptions that I have. In a nutshell, that's how it works. And then what I'll do is I'll take this money after a month, and I'll take that $26 and I'll bump this to a 5x. And then once that makes money, I'll bump it to a 10x. And once I make that, I'll bump this one to a 15x. Right? And then once I get that, I'll do 15 times 2, and then I'll just keep upgrading and putting it back into here. Okay? The other thing I can do is saying, well, I don't want to go out and buy more systems. I don't want to pay, $2,000 to $3,000 for another computer and then install that because it's only going to give me $300 a year. It'd take me 10 years to pay off the $3,000 for that system. I don't want to do that. So that's what we get into a farm.